Hey everyone, welcome to the first video in our series on retiring in Mexico. There's just way too much here for me to do in one video. In this series, I'm going to take a deep dive into what it's like to retire in one of the most exciting cities in the world. We're going to cover everything from the best neighborhoods to live in, the cost of living, and what makes a city so special. In this first video, I'm going to provide an overview of Mexico City and cover the essential information you need to know about retiring here. In the upcoming videos, we'll explore 4 of what I consider the most popular neighborhoods in detail: Condesa, Roma Norte, Polanco, and Coyoacan. Each of these neighborhoods has its own unique charm and amenities, and it'll be up to you to decide which one might be the best fit for you. All right, so in today's video, I want to focus on a little bit of the geography of Mexico City, the visa options, living costs, what makes Mexico City so special, the climate, getting around, and the pros and cons, because what works for me may not work for you. So let's get started. The temporary resident visa is valid for 4 years and is ideal for anyone who wants to come live in Mexico for an extended period without permanently committing. To qualify, you're going to need to show proof of sufficient income, savings, and I'm going to be putting websites hopefully here. The permanent resident visa is for those who plan to live in Mexico indefinitely. The requirements are similar to the temporary resident visa, but typically involve kind of a higher income or savings threshold, which is not bad at all. And hopefully that's popping up on the screen right now. Both visa types require the usual, an application process, and that's going to include submitting financial documents, proof of residency, other personal information. It is a good idea if you're really looking for that permanent, indefinite sort of stay to consult with an immigration lawyer or a specialist to make sure that you meet all the requirements, because paperwork, there's always something. All right, so let's get into the fun stuff here, like the living cost and how amazing you can live here for a much lower cost than in the US. I think this is one of the biggest draws for retiring in Mexico City is how affordable everything is. So a quick breakdown, and like I said, in my neighborhood videos, I'll go into more detail. But overall, housing, if you're renting a 1-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood, as low as $600 to $1,200, and then it gets a little pricier from there for a 2-bedroom. And again, if you watch my video on Polanco, you'll know that it can go up way much more than that. But still, I haven't seen anything that I can say apples to apples is anywhere near the costs in the US. Food, eating out is quite affordable, especially if you're doing something local. You can look at $10 to $20 US. If you're doing 20, that you're probably looking more at some sort of mainstream place, like if you go to Starbucks or something like that. Groceries, they can be up to $200 or all the way up to $400. Again, if you're shopping local and you're going to the mercados, it's going to be on the lower end. If you're looking for Oreos and, I don't know, can't think of another U.S. brand right now, but it's going to be on that higher end. It really depends on your shopping habits. Transportation is very affordable. A metro ticket is literally pennies, cents. It's 30 cents, it's 5 Mexican peso dollars, so that's, right now it's equivalent to about 30 cents. If you prefer driving, gas prices are lower than many other countries. I don't know why. A lot of the neighborhoods are very walkable. The metro is very accessible and very, very inexpensive. But Uber as well. I used Uber a few times, especially getting around during rush hour. Subways kind of freaked me out because it was really, really crowded. And most of them were under 200 pesos. So you figure 100 pesos would be $10, right? Am I doing my math correctly there? No, 5. Again, if you are living here and you want to be able to drive to other parts of the country, gas is also less expensive. Healthcare is very high quality and significantly cheaper than the US. Many retirees are opting for private health insurance, which is very much a concierge kind of service, And it'll cost anywhere from 50 to a couple $100 US per month. It really depends on what you're looking for, that level of service, but very affordable. All right. I have, like I said, I've been living here for a month. I really want to do a deep dive and really experience different areas and where I might retire to. And this is a very special city. So let's get into what makes it so special. Mexico has a very rich history and culture. It was originally built by the Aztecs in 1325 and later became the capital of New Spain under Spanish rule. So much history here. This blend of indigenous and colonial history, it's just visible throughout the city. One of the most iconic landmarks is Zocalo, a main square in Centro Histórico. And it is surrounded by historical buildings like the Metropolitan Cathedral, the National Palace. The city is also home to numerous museums, including the world-famous National Museum of Anthropology and the Frida Kahlo Museum. Mexico City offers a very robust cultural scene with countless festivals, concerts, theater performances all throughout the year. The city's culinary scene is world-renowned, featuring everything from street food to high-end dining. And believe me, you'll get used to those churros being on every street corner. That's a well-balanced diet, right? A churro and a taco. All right, for those who love nature and adventure, there are many experiences near. You can visit the ancient pyramids of Teotihuacan. I'm so sorry. Hike in the nearby mountains, take a day trip to the charming colonial town of Puebla. The city's proximity to an international airport also makes it easy to travel both within Mexico and internationally. I love that part. Getting from the airport to my apartment in Condesa with rush hour traffic was still under an hour. You can't beat it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the climate, weather. So like I said before, you're at an elevation. The climate in Mexico City is mild and pleasant throughout the year. Thanks to the high altitude, summers are warm but not too hot, with an average temperature around 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 Celsius. Winters are cooler, with temperatures averaging around 55 or 13 degrees Celsius, but rarely dropping below freezing. So it's really the best of both worlds. I will say I had a hard time probably the whole first week I was here. My oxygen levels were down and my heart rate was up, and I think I'm just not used to being at altitude, but now that I've been here for a few weeks, my body is acclimating. The rainy season runs through June to September, bringing afternoon showers and thunderstorms. I will say I'm here in June and July, which is the rainy season, and it has not been bad at all. The days we get rain is typically like maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon, lasts for an hour. It's great. Remember what I was saying about the noise levels? Just can't get around the noises. All right, despite the rain, this period still sees plenty of sunshine. The rest of the year is mostly dry, making it easy to enjoy outdoor activities year-round. I will say, as somebody who is from the West Coast, I am used to a drier heat. It is definitely more humid here. But like I said, today is in July. It's, I think, a high of 77 today, which is actually 7 degrees hotter than normal. So yeah, very, very pleasant. All right, I did talk about it a little bit earlier, but let's talk a little bit more detail. Getting around, there is an extensive and affordable public transportation system. The metro is the most popular mode of transport. There are 12 lines covering almost the entire city. A single ride costs 5 Mexican pesos, which currently is about 28 cents, something like that. And there are the special cars reserved for women and children for that added safety. Buses and minibuses, known as paseros, are also widely used, and they cover routes that the metro does not. For convenience, there are taxis, and like I said, the Uber is readily available and inexpensive. So you can use your Metro card on the metro and on the bus. Walking and biking are very popular, and like I will be showing you later in my neighborhoods, there are these paths kind of in between the streets, and there's a very wide bike lane and lots of bike rentals everywhere. So you're not going to see me getting on a bike anytime soon, but it's available. He's never going to stop hammering. It's going to be all day. I can just keep waiting. So the walking and biking are very popular in the neighborhoods like Condesa and Roma Norte, where the tree-lined streets and the dedicated bike lanes make it very easy to get around. We will rock it. Oh my God, he just won't stop. It's been hours. I keep waiting to film. All right, let's get a little bit into pros and cons. This is looking at Mexico City overall. I will have pros and cons in each neighborhood that I do a deep dive into, so please look for those and let me know what you think. So the top of the pro list will be the low cost of living. You can live very, very well for a very affordable price here compared to most places I've traveled to. It is very rich in culture. I love the art scene. I love the history. I love the architecture. There are museums, historic landmarks. I love it all. And it is so big, you will not run out of experiences. I love the transportation because it makes the whole city become a walkable place for me. The neighborhoods that I'm looking at are very walkable, but really all of Mexico City becomes walkable because of that public transportation. I absolutely love that. And I cannot forget the mild climate. Year-round, the weather is really pleasant here. Once you get used to the elevation, if that's an issue for you, like it was for me, you are set. All right, no place is perfect, and what works for me may not work for you, so let's get into some potential cons or drawbacks. The air pollution. I can't come up with a way to soften this or mitigate it. I will say everybody has plants. This is a tropical place, so I think plants are supposed to help with all of that, but the air pollution is not good here. No bueno. Traffic congestion. If you decide you want a car, bring your patience. It is a busy, active place, and there is traffic pretty much all hours, and rush hour is absolutely insane. The noise level, as you've seen in this video, because believe me, I keep trying to wait, unless I wait till I get back home to film, there's always something. This particular hammering that's gone on all day today, usually not happening, but all the street noise, musicians, street carts, it's noisy. And I'm in a fairly quiet street off of, I'm not on a main street. But anyways, noise level. And I'm going to put safety here. I have not felt, like I said, I've traveled alone this entire trip. I'm in my apartment alone. I've been on the metro alone. I've been in city center, historic center, everything. I don't think it is an unsafe place. I know a lot of people, when I told them where I was going this summer, were concerned for my safety. But in doing the research that I've looked at, there are some neighborhoods. I have only narrowed down to what I would consider expat friendly. I don't speak enough Spanish yet. My Spanish is so bad. My English is bad. My Spanish is really bad. But anyways, it's a very big city. Like with any big city, it is something to be aware of. All right, I think this wraps up the overview of retiring in Mexico City. If you found this video helpful, leave me a comment. If you think it was terrible, leave me a comment. Just let me know what you're thinking. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch my video. See you next time.